Hello, I'm Morris Dimba and welcome to this tutorial, and we shall be continuing with the castellated beam cutting details for the 305 and 165 universal beam, but castellated. And we'll get started right away, and we'll access our tools on the applications and component section, and the moment you mouse over this button here, you'll be able to read that. So I'll click on that. So once I've clicked on that and move straight to castellated, I'll just type castellated right there, then I'll double click right here. So I'll define these 2 points. I'll snap on that spot and stretch all the way to that position right here, and I'll snap right here. So the 2 points at 12, it's 12 meters, so this beam stretches from 0 to 12 meters. I'll double click and come to position right here and come to middle, because I want to move it up slightly to sit on top of the grid line. So I'll click front, then come to modify here, then click apply and accept that by clicking OK. Now I'll redraw, just remove those symbols of cuttings. Now let me just check the position here and turn that round, and you'll be able to see that it's not really on top, and this one is on top, so it's not straight. So I'll click that and delete that. So and come once again and define that position. I'll snap right there and move all the way to this position here, and slightly snap right there. So I think it is in the right position. So I'll turn that round and redraw that. Click on empty screen and redraw. Now I'll double click on this, and today we as I described to you and explained to you, that today I'm going to show you the development and cutting details for the castellated beam of this size 305 by 165 castellated beam. Now we'll feed this cutting detail from this end to this end. This will be 76. We'll feed here 76 here. We'll feed 76 right here, and from this end to this end, this will be 88, and this should be 88, not 76. So this one will be 76. We'll feed 76 here, and this one will be 305, and our flange width will be 165, and here the height of our beam will be 458 right here, and the thickness will just be defined with the standard thickness of this beam of 305 by 165. We'll use the same thickness. Now this is exactly what we expect to have, and this is the cutting details, and this is key. If you want to use, please just copy this and use in your cutting and developing cutting details and development details for your castellated beams. So you can send this to workshop to be cut, and once they're joined together, they can be subjected to fabrication and connection to other members and be sent to site. Now let's get to this. Now I'll double click on this, and you can see the moment double click, there's lack of connection. This was not connected to this dialog box, so whatever we were feeding in was not connected. So if you realize, the moment I double click, it reverts to previous settings. Now we'll start again afresh by making sure the two are connected. Now I'll come to this connection. This point to this point should be 88. That is 88. Now here will be 76. That's it. And this one will be 305, and this one will be 458 right there, and this one will be 165, which is the flange width. Now I'll go ahead and click modify, and the settings will be picked, and will be picked by this model here. And if I click on empty screen, then right click and redraw, and I'll remove those signs or symbols of cutouts, And if I come here and I want to confirm these distances, if matches this one from this end to this end, which is 76, I'll come to edit right here and come to measure here and check that, snap on that spot and snap on that spot, that is 76. We will not miss any step in every development creation or development and cutting details of any castellated beam member. We'll follow every step for every member. Now we'll check the height of a castellated beam from this end to this end. I'll come to measure here and just check that. That is 458. And we'll check the width here, and I'll snap on that spot and snap on that spot, and that is 165, exactly what we fed here. The width and the height is matching what we just feed in on our dialog box to create the development and the cutting details for the castellated beam. Now I'll come to view and I want to turn this round here, and what I'm going to use, or we can change this, just double click on the screen, then come to representation, come to color by class, and I'll come to that color, modify, apply and accept that, apply and click OK. Then I'll zoom out and in just to reach to the object I'm working on, and this is what we have at this point. Now I want to trim it up or trim it along the center so that it represents what exactly will be welded or will be done at the workshop. So I'll cut it right at the center so that we remain with the half, and the two halves will be joined together. It will have a cutting point in between. So what to place that cutting point, we have to cut it out, then join it together by either weld, by weld I mean. Now I'll come to edit here, and I'll access the points that will be guiding us through the cutting out of this point. So I'll select this far end and pick it from the top here and stretch all the way to the other end here, and I'll snap right here, and there we are. And don't mind about that, and it's easy, and you can follow every bit of our instruction. Now I'll come to edit and pick on polygon, and then I'll select on the part to be cut. Then I'll start with this one here. I'll stretch all the way to this location here. I'll snap on that spot and stretch all the way to the center of this beam, then move all the way to the other center of this beam and snap there and target my initial point created, which will close our polygon, and the part will be cut out. So we have this in place. So we don't intend to use the part that has been cut. So in this particular case, we can go ahead and save this member. We can save this, and remember, in technical structures, the moment a step moved ahead and you tried to save save everything at that stage, you cannot come back and retrieve whatever you just done. A step moved, it's moved, and you cannot come back once you've saved anything. So if you're not confident or you're not sure whatever you're doing, or you're trying whatever you do while doing the modeling technical structures, don't try to save, because you might lose your previous step if you intend to go back and check whatever you've done way back. So when you're doing the modeling and you save it, you forget about going back. Think of moving forward. Now I'll select this, and I'll come to right click and come to spatial copy and pick linear. So I want to create another section that will be joined together with this. So I need another part that I'll rotate and connect with this. So I'll come to copy linear. So I want to copy this. I need a copy of this up along the z-axis. I hope this is the z-axis, so I'll just type, I'll offset it at a distance of 600 millimeter, or I can move it up by a meter. A meter is okay. So that's it, and I'll click OK. So this is what we want, and I'll redraw, here, and I'll select it once again, and I'll come to view, and I will reorient my XYZ plane. So once I've done that, I'll select on work plane tool, and I'll place my work plane tool on that section. So I'll select it once again and come to special move and come to rotate. So I will not rotate this along the z-axis, which is either pointing at me or pointing at the other end. So in this case, I'll be using these 2 points as my rotation point. So everything will rotate about the line, this line here, or these 2 points. So I'll select that option here around line. So I'll define my line here. I'll snap on that spot and snap on this spot here, then click move. So my object will move around the 2 points that I've defined along the x-axis. Now I'll click on empty screen, then redraw, to remove all those symbols that indicate that there was something done here, or remove those symbols of or signs of cutouts of a particular component. Now I'll select this component and right click and come to move, and I want to join it with the bottom end or with the other one. So I'll just select that point and join that point with this one. So you can find out that this will be the welding line for these 2 components. And again, I can pick on that, right click and click special copy, and I can pick on linear, and I need to check and confirm where is my XYZ axis. My XYZ axis is pointing on the other way, so we'll work with the Z axis. So under Z axis, we'll either copy that at a distance of 1 meter because it's pointing at me. So I'll go ahead and click that, okay, and come to navigate. So if I rotate that, you'll be able to see there's another section that we use to develop these 2. So I'll right click and click redraw. We can either leave our XYZ plane at that position, or we can take it to a default position on top of. I'll pick it once again because it's not detecting what I'm trying to do. I'll redraw this. I'll redraw that, and I'll come to work plane tool, and I'll try to place it either right there on a default position, and I'll try to save whatever I've done because I'm okay with every stage I've passed. So I don't intend to go back and go back and correct whatever I've done. So remember, once you've saved every step you've saved, you will not be able to go back. That is Tekla Structures. Now here we are, and I'll double click on it once again and come back here, and these are the details that we will be using for this, for that size of castellated beam. This size, I mean the 305 by 165 castellated beam. These are the settings. So if you intend to use these, please just follow the channel and you'll be able to get the details. Remember, this is a library, and you can retrieve whatever you want right here, and you can pick this and issue out as the development and cutting details for this particular size of castellated beam. Thanks a lot for watching this video, and if you're new to this channel, please don't forget to subscribe. I'm Maurice Dimba, and let's meet then. Bye.